Former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Johnny Manziel has been released by his team, the Montreal Alouettes, and is no longer a member of the Canadian Football League. Got released. The thing was, the wording that the CFL used was that he contravened or violated his agreement with the CFL. So apparently Johnny Manziel had some kind of behind-the-scenes agreement with the CFL that said, if you got to follow these parameters, and if you don't, you're no longer going to be allowed to play in our league. So the CFL forced the Montreal Alouettes to release him. And then they banned him from the league. They said, you cannot play in this league ever again. And I want to be very clear. Kavis Reed, the Montreal Alouettes general manager, said they like Johnny. They would not have released him unless the only reason they released him was because the league said, you have to get rid of him. He violated his agreement. It's very, very weird. It's clear to me that we don't know exactly what happened. We probably never will. I hope we do someday. I think Johnny Manziel's story is just the most fascinating, heartbreaking, interesting story in sports to me. It's just what it is like a car wreck along the side of a freeway where it's really ugly, but you can't turn away. You got to look because you're so fascinated with what happened. It's too bad. I really wanted Johnny Manziel to succeed. I think we all did. We all wanted Johnny Manziel's story to end well. And it still could, but it's looking bleaker and bleaker by the day. It's weird, one, to have a player need special instructions. That means you already screwed up. And then it's worse and it's compounded when it's a quarterback. Your quarterback should be the most reliable, trustworthy person on your roster. You shouldn't ever have to worry about your quarterback's behavior. I really don't think Johnny Manziel is going to make it. NFL teams are not going to trust him. Would you give the football to Johnny Manziel? I don't know. That's the problem with Johnny, is he's just not reliable. It's interesting. Part of his job with the Canadian Football League was to be a grown-up, and he couldn't do it. He just clearly could not get it done. Now, possibly the next step for Johnny Football is to go to the Alliance of American Football. This is a new developmental football league in America. And I think, honestly, they would take him in a heartbeat. They'd love to get the ratings that Johnny Manziel would bring. But they had to make a statement about it today. Charlie Ebersol, the co-founder of the Alliance of American Football, said today they're not sure if they would let Johnny join the league. The wording they said was they wanted to be clean and clear, which means I think they want to make sure he's not on drugs. He's not struggling with addiction. They want to make sure Johnny Manziel's in a good place before they allow him into the league. It's also worth noting, in 2018, Johnny Manziel he played 8 games with the Montreal Alouettes in the Canadian Football League. He threw 5 touchdowns. He had 7 interceptions. The truth is, he's basically washed up. I like the guy. I'm rooting for the guy. And sadly, it's just a sad story. He's a good human. He seems like a nice person that I want to succeed. But I don't think he has the maturity required to be a professional quarterback at any level. I don't think Johnny Manziel can keep it together, which is sad. He reminds me of Josh Gordon. He's a sad story, a guy you want to succeed who just simply cannot keep it together on or off the field. And so I'm rooting for Johnny, but sadly, I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think he's ever going to figure it out. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. A lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan, this is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.